Marriage is a big commitment that will impact the rest of your life. Before walking down the aisle, it's important to take a close look at your partner and evaluate whether some of his habits could become problems long-term. In this video, we will discuss some major red flags to watch out for. He's irresponsible with money. Money is one of the leading causes of stress and arguments in marriages. If your guy has a troubling history of financial mismanagement or lives paycheck to paycheck without savings, that's a red flag. Always late on bills, bounces checks, run up debt he can't pay off? These behaviors won't magically change once you're married. Financial problems will only be magnified and affect your joint ability to reach important milestones like buying a home, saving for retirement, or funding your children's education. Before agreeing to marry, have an open discussion about finances and look closely at his credit report together. Getting on the same page about budgeting, spending habits, and financial goals. Consider premarital counseling to work through any differences. If he's unwilling to address problematic behaviors like overspending or doesn't take financial planning seriously, it may foreshadow future difficulties. He has anger issues or loses his temper regularly. Disagreements and arguments are inevitable in any close relationship as two people navigate life together. However, uncontrolled anger or a short fuse over little things are legitimate problems that can escalate into verbal or physical abuse. Please pay attention to how your partner reacts when annoyed, irritated, or facing adversity. Does he have constructive ways of expressing negative emotions, or does he blow up at the slightest provocation? Look out for signs like throwing or punching objects, name-calling, blaming, or storming off when tensions rise. Also, watch how he treats service people, strangers, or people below him in social situations. Does anger simmer just below the surface? If he has a habit of losing his cool, getting in people's faces aggressively, or making you feel afraid of his reaction, carefully reconsider marrying someone with questionable anger management skills. Counseling may be needed to address unhealthy expressions of anger before you commit. He's disrespectful of your family or friends. Loyalty and mutual respect are essential for a harmonious marriage. Pay attention to how your partner interacts with the people closest to you. Does he subtly or openly dismiss, belittle, or insult your family and friends over time? Respecting each other's networks is key. Watch out for cupboard undermining behaviors like eye-rolling at holidays, refusing to socialize with loved ones, and making snide asides about appearances or careers. Disrespect also includes being rude directly to friends and relatives. You want to partner with your back in relationships, not create needless division. Ask probing questions about past conflicts with in-laws or friends. Their answers can shed light on character issues like arrogance, negative assumptions of others, or a general inability to get along long-term. Disrespect may not improve but likely worsen under the pressures of marriage. He's selfish in bed or shows a lack of consideration. Intimacy and sexual compatibility are essential pillars that support marital happiness and closeness. Carefully evaluate his degree of thoughtfulness, attentiveness, and willingness to please you and be pleased in the bedroom before marrying. Selfish lovers who only care about their own gratification and don't invest time and energy in ensuring you also find fulfillment will likely leave you feeling used, unfulfilled, and resentful over the long haul. While it's normal for some differences in libido or interests to exist in any relationship, focus on how responsive and giving he is to your needs, feedback, and pleasure generally. Problem areas like one-sided expectations, habitually skimping on foreplay, lack of concern over your satisfaction or discomfort, and dismissing your desires should raise red flags. Think carefully about marrying someone who shows a low ability or desire to please you intimately regularly due to selfishness. He's emotionally distant or withdrawn. Marriage works best when people actively participate in an emotionally intimate bond based on open communication, trust, and vulnerability. If your partner has trouble sharing deep feelings, being affectionate, listening without judgment, or making emotional availability a priority, marrying them means signing up for a potentially unfulfilling partnership. Look out for signs he's emotionally distant, like constantly changing the subject when you want to talk about feelings, keeping you at arm's length physically, responding minimally to your problems, and showing little interest in your innermost thoughts. Being with someone who blocks emotional intimacy rarely bodes well for long-term companionship. Consider whether his reluctance to bond at this level aligns with what you envision for a happy marriage. counseling may be needed to establish healthier emotional connections. He prioritizes boys' night over family time. Marriage necessitates a shift from individual priorities to coupling priorities where you both support your relationship above all else. Suppose your partner constantly chooses friends or party time over planned togetherness or quality bonding with you and possible future kids. In that case, it's a red flag they are still in a single mindset. Pay careful attention to his actions. Is he frequently canceling your dates and outings for last-minute guys' plans? Does his social media mostly show weekends away partying with his crew rather than nights in? You want a spouse who sees their partner and family as the #1 circle, not an afterthought or second-best option. Watch out for those who repeatedly fail to build a life as a unit in favor of orbiting in social groups where they are not yet ready to be a true teammate or teammate. Prior relationships like this often do not transition smoothly to becoming primary life partners and parents someday. He's lazy and lacks motivation. Being ambitious, driven, and future-focused are important qualities to thrive in marriage over the long haul. If your partner is complacent with their current situation and shows little work ethic or motivation to better their life circumstances, that will create challenges as life changes. Red flags include chronic unemployment despite opportunities, unaddressed health issues, lack of school or career goals, and immaturity around basic responsibilities like errands, home repairs, and paperwork. These behaviors rarely transform positively when they sign a marriage license. Look for a spouse who is a self-starter, constantly improving, and learning new skills. Someone complacent living in a rut won't be as equipped to handle inevitable career moves, back injuries, or family additions that require adaptability down the line. A motivated partner is an asset to your lifelong team. He has a history of poor relationships. We all go through learning experiences in our romantic past. However, constant failed relationships, especially those marked by immaturity, mistreatment of partners, or a pattern of blaming others for falling outs, should ring alarm bells. Look closely at his dating track record. Were there numerous short flings, or did he neglect quality time for multiple partners? Are any marriages already behind him with allegations of abuse, abandonment, or unhealthy behaviors? Red flags abound if you notice a tendency to date exclusively unstable, problematic partners yourself. You want to marry someone who can maintain healthy boundaries, learn from mistakes, take responsibility for issues, and have generally positive reference experiences behind them. Unaddressed character flaws are likely to repeat patterns down the line. Consider carefully if their lifestyle aligns long-term with what you envision for married life. He's secretive or won't commit. Trust and transparency are non-negotiable for a healthy, lifelong partnership. Major warning signs include being elusive about past relationships or personal history, secretive about devices or accounts, balking at the label of boyfriend after significant dating, or suspicious delays in defining your status. Hiding things is never a good sign. Look out for actions like frequently changing or locking passwords out of your view, vague answers to basic questions about upbringing and exes, or strange protective behaviors around phone and computer use. Secretive people often have something to hide, and that rarely improves with cohabitation and marriage. Their inability or reluctance to disclose themselves shows an unwillingness to be fully vulnerable or legitimately committed. We hope this video helped you recognize potential red flags to watch out for before marriage. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips on relationships. Also, click the notification bell to stay tuned for upcoming videos on finding the right partner and building a strong foundation for a lifetime together.